talks, and there's no limits. He don't stop for 90 minutes. Now it's time for your daily visit. Mickey talks. Mickey talks. He's with Matt Davis. Mickey talks. So here's the latest. Mickey talks. We're glad you made it. Mickey talks. Mickey talks.
The show, Matt, and we're excited to have a guest. Sometimes we start the show and we don't have a guest, and sometimes we start the show and we can't believe who's sitting in the room.
Very special guest today. Yeah.
Might be, I think, in my eyes, yeah, I think this is my, probably the most honored guest,
Oh, absolutely.
right?
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
I mean, this show's starting to become big. We're getting big things to happen on this show.
Yeah.
I mean, Ed Hale announced he's going to run for governor.
Well, that's true.
Here.
Yeah.
What else happened? That's really it. But it's cool. You know what I mean?
It is cool
Yeah.
for sure. Yes.
It is Mickey Talks, brought to you by Barnes Paving, BARNES paving.com. Incredible people. They're the best at what they do, and they are local, and they're incredible. Give them a call. You get 10% off if you tell them Mickey Talks told you to call. And Matt, listen, I'm getting right into it because normally we do a little thing up front. We talk, but I want to spend all the time I can.
Absolutely. I agree.
Two things. This lady has a lot of accomplishments in her career. An attorney. Were you the first? No, you were the second woman mayor of Baltimore, correct?
Correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake. Welcome to the program, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Now, Matt.
Miss you.
I miss you. Are you kidding me? But, Matt, before we get started, I'm going to warn you, the former mayor is probably going to hit on me a lot during this show. I don't want you to
I'm gonna try to be on good behavior.
Don't.
I'm
please,
not buying this at all.
don't
Madam
try
Mayor.
at all. Anyway, Madam Mayor, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a couple years.
No, I haven't seen you since your show.
Well, when you came to see me do comedy,
Mm-hmm.
did I tell you that story, Matt?
You didn't know.
So when I was doing radio, when I was on 98 Rock, the mayor would come on a lot with us. And by the way, unlike most of her predecessors that didn't want to come on, I had a lot of respect for the mayor because she would come on our show. And
I remember.
We
Yeah.
hit it off and we talked for years while she was mayor. And then I pressured her about coming to see me do comedy. And I'll be damned, one night I walk on stage in the front row is the mayor of Baltimore.
Wow.
Active mayor of Baltimore.
Wow.
And the highlight of the whole night was
You didn't become part of the show, did you?
I didn't bother you during the show
That's
other
good,
than
yeah.
to say hello to you.
Yeah.
But after the show, if I may tell the truth, there's a green room, so the mayor was escorted back and she walked in and she went, "Wow, you are funny as shit." Exact words. And it was the nicest thing. I was really nervous.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, it's
yeah.
the mayor.
Sure.
It's not like the mayor of Poughkeepsie. It's
Did
Baltimore.
you change your act up a little bit?
Not a I didn't change one thing. But Madam Mayor, things are good for you right now, right?
I cannot complain. My daughter just graduated from college. so
Congratulations.
very, very happy about that.
I wanted to have you on this show for a couple reasons. Number one, I think when I think back I grew up like you in Baltimore. I adore the city. I know you do. Your dad was a very, very accomplished member of the community. And then when you came along, we're close to the same age, same generation. I was rooting for you. And I say, to me, you were like the first, in my opinion, modern mayor the city ever had. There was like a lot of old school sort of politicians. I wasn't an O'Malley fan. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I wasn't. When you came in, there was like, I don't know if it was like the youth part of it or something, because you were relatively young to be a mayor of such a city. When you think back on that, when you first said, "Wow, I can be mayor, I'm going to give this a shot," were you scared?
Well, you have to remember the circumstances.
Go ahead.
It was not a particularly good time for the city when I became mayor.
You're not kidding.
my predecessor was in a very protracted legal case, and it was
that the gift card situation and all that?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you what happened with me in that?
No.
Well, she was mayor, and it was still an issue.
Is this going to be a story I regret?
Yes.
Suggesting that you.
Yes, it is. No,
You might regret this whole thing.
You're gonna regret the whole interview, like you always do. Anyway, I was talking to her.
We'll take care of you, I promise.
It was just a joke.
Oh,
she wished us all a happy holiday, and she said, "I wish I could get you all stuff." And I just said, "We'll take some gift cards if you have them." That was it. That was the whole thing. It was on the radio. It was 10 years ago. You okay?
Oh. You said that like during the whole.
It was a joke. It was after it. It was kind of after like the thing blew up. It was still out there. You know what? Maybe it wasn't while she. I think it was. Didn't she try to run again?
Oh.
I think that's what it was. That's when it was. That's it. You mad at me now?
No, listen. I'm just trying to get through this hour. Sorry.
Just trying to get through the hour.
Trying to enjoy my popcorn and Diet Coke.
Well, it is a pleasure to give it to you. Here's a couple things I want people to know. This lady, here it is. I find some things about you really interesting. And one of the things I found, at the time she was elected, she was one of only a few black women in the entire country that was a mayor of a relative sized city.
Yeah.
You were also, if I'm not mistaken, did you run for, or were you like the head of the mayor, whatever that council's called?
President of the U.S. Conference of Mayors.
What is that exactly, the U.S. Conference of Mayors?
So it is it's a nonpartisan organization. It's the association. It's basically a trade association, but for mayors. So it's where we get together as mayors from across the country, 30,000 population and above.
Right.
And we advocate for cities. We work internationally with other mayors from around the country. We've done a lot of work with global climate change.
Yeah.
And we
were you mayor while you were the head of that?
Mm-hmm.
So you're running a whole city, and then you have to run an organization.
Well, I was the president. I didn't run it.
Okay,
I didn't
gotcha.
run the day-to-day. I was the president and the first and only black woman to hold that position.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Since then, even?
Yeah, since then. I think it's probably 90 years old or older.
Wow. I mean, that's serious stuff.
Yeah.
Like, when you think about American history, right? 100 years from now, a young girl is going to be a mayor somewhere, and she's going to look back. You're there.
Yeah, I'm there.
That's pretty badass, I think. Hey, let me ask you this: when you were mayor, did you ever want to tell anybody, fuck off? Like,
I told plenty of people that.
Did you really?
Absolutely.
Like,
but,
to their face, like, fuck off. I'm not dealing with this.
I mean, yes, I did. But
You did it in lawyer speak, though, right?
As long as they're, we can't do anything like that now because everybody got their phones on and recording
Yeah.
everything.
Look, this is being recorded. Watch this.
No.
Very easy, Madam Mayor. Watch. Fuck off. And then it just flies right out. You know what I
But
mean?
translate that to lawyer talk. How do you say that in lawyer talk?
Would you kindly fuck off? How do you do it in mayorese?
I'm out of practice in that. Because I will say that one of the things that I enjoy the most is not having to have a filter.
Yeah.
And not having to BS with people.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many people that you have in politics that you have to work with, that you have to be cordial with, that you have to speak to.
Right.
And in that world, that there are also some of those same people who hate your guts.
Yeah.
That don't wish good for you.
Right.
That actively work against you, and you still have to speak to them. And one of the things I remember, and I won't say who it is, but there was one council person in particular who, would lie 10 times before he would say the truth.
Right.
Was very actively always, if I said, we should go right for no other reason than it was.
Then you said it, he'd go left. Right.
If the city will, it'll be a disaster if we don't go left.
Right.
Like one thing after the next. If he couldn't oppose me, he wouldn't wake up in the morning.
Right.
And I remember, as the weeks were counting down, I said to him, I said, one of the things I'm looking forward to the most is never having to speak to you again. And he thought I was joking.
Right. Is
So
he still around? I won't make you name him.
Yeah. So he.
Do I have a pretty good idea of who it is?
I don't know.
Did he ever try to run for mayor?
So he comes up to me in an event.
Does he not always live in the city?
No. So he comes up to me at an event.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think he thought because there were other people around that he could do this whole shtick and speak to me, and I would have to speak to him. And he comes up, my man, to me, and I just looked at him like he was Sixth Sense.
Good for you.
You know what I mean? Like he was a ghost. I was like, no. I was like,
were there people when you became mayor that surprised you? Like, as far you thought they were going to be adversarial, and it turns out you could work with them and they understood your job. And was there anyone like that for you?
No,
that's sad, isn't it?
It was the other way around. It was people who I'd worked with forever
that turned on you.
Yeah,
isn't that sick?
Yeah. Did
you lose faith a little bit in our system once you became a mayor and you see how it really? That's not a fair question. I didn't ask it right, to be honest. Were you disappointed in the fact that people in that world don't always appreciate how special our form of government is?
So I will say this: the only thing that disappointed, I shouldn't say the only thing. One of the things that disappointed me about the work, of being mayor, especially coming from more than a decade in the city council.
Sure. Yeah. Which you were president of before mayor, right? Yeah. Amazing.
So I'll say this. If you talk to people that went to high school with me, they'll say that I'm the same person. Now, when I say that, not that I haven't grown, not that I haven't evolved.
Haven't educated yourself. All that, right.
But the essence of me.
Your core values.
Right.
Yeah.
Is the same.
Of course.
And being a city council person didn't define who I was. Being city council president didn't define who I was. Being mayor didn't define me. These were
accomplishments.
These were opportunities that I had to do great work for the city. They were not who I was, right?
I get it.
So when I encountered people who I had worked with for years and years and years, and then once I became mayor, all of a sudden, like for no good reason, they're oppositional. I'm like, what the, as the kids say, what the helly?
Right. Yeah.
That happens with a lot of people with success, unfortunately. When they find their friend find success.
I'm not like that. I want my friends to succeed.
Me too,
Not that you don't. I don't require anyone, friend or foe, or any to agree with me all the time. But don't to flip the switch and pretend like
we're not friends. Yeah, that's crazy.
Or that there's you get some benefit from being in opposition to me, other than for your own.
Yeah, I get. Trust me, I get. Yes. Do you think when you think back, say from election night to your last night, are you happy with the job you did as mayor personally?
Absolutely.
Good for you.
I mean, it would be crazy of me not to be happy. There are very few people that walk on this earth that have had as much impact as I've been able to have on my city. If you don't take nothing else, just the $1 billion in school construction.
Yeah.
That one thing.
Yeah.
My grandchildren's grandchildren
will benefit from that.
Right?
Yeah. I think it's amazing. Like, I don't want to go down a political rabbit hole because it's not.
Then you shouldn't.
And I'm not. But I do want to address one thing.
All right.
I've been a lifelong kind of, I don't know what I am. Like different times I feel one way more than the other. I'm kind of down the middle most of the time.
I didn't know where this conversation was going.
Well, it could go that way too.
I don't know where this.
No, what I mean is like politically, when I was a kid, I thought Ronald Reagan was a superhero, right? And then as I got a little older, I thought, Bill Clinton was a decent president. He might have made some bad life choices, but if you look back on the policy and stuff, there's some good stuff there. So along the way, and then Madam Mayor, I told Matt this yesterday. I liked you as mayor because I liked you.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I think that somehow along the way, in politics especially, we forgot that people are in these jobs, human beings. And that goes across the board. We're all fallible. We all have an opinion. We're elected because of what we say, and this is what we think. And I'm not even going to talk about it in depth, but the one, say, asterisk in your mayoral campaign with the city and the fights and the riots and all that. I don't think there was a human being in America that could have fixed that overnight like everyone expected you to do. No. And when I look back on it all now, city's fine. we don't have monuments built to 60 kids dead in the streets, shit like that. So I took flack for this on the radio when it came up and people were like, "Oh, should have sent the guard in or police and locked them kids up breaking windows." I'm like, breaking windows? We're gonna have a whole city riot and kill teenagers because they broke windows? I don't know if that was the way you felt about it, but it was kind of what I thought. Like, I mean, I hope
it was. I mean, think about it. It's a no-win situation.
Exactly.
And if you take a look at what I did then and what people are doing now,
a little different.
And not only different. Listen, this is what I know. It wasn't pretty.
No,
but
it wasn't.
There's no, unrest, riot, or whatever.
Right.
That is pretty. However, across the board, from the people who do the work, my response, or the response that I led, was heralded as the way to do things, to de-escalate, to make sure that no other life was lost. I
didn't mind it. I mean, my friends have come at me about it. She should have sent this. She should have done that. And I'm like, yeah.
But the problem is, you see what happens. You see what happens now when the National Guard is sent in. It makes things worse.
In a sense, but it also cleared it up quick. Let's be honest. I think that would have went on for weeks had we not gone in and just said, enough of this shit. Go home.
So what are you talking about? LA? Well, so
let you not want to talk about it.
So this is the thing, and it's the same thing that happened in Baltimore. Usually the people that are kind of beating their chest.
The agitators?
No. The people that are, beating their chest and I'm sending in.
Yeah.
Those are usually the people who have the least impact on what's going on
in that community, you mean?
But on the ground, right?
Yeah, I understand
what happened, what happened, whether it was pretty, whatever, I feel like Mayor Bass, Newsom, they were doing the work to get things calmed down.
Yeah.
I think, and things for the most part were trending down. I think
I'm not trying to get gotcha
like,
moment here.
No. It's like taking credit for something
that you really didn't have anything to do with.
Right.
I understand what you're saying. You come in and look like the hero at the end of the day.
Right.
I get it. I understand that. So, but let me ask you, when you have been in situations where, I remember you in that situation room. Do you remember what was that over that? Was that all that moment? You were there for like a night or two. I can't remember. It was like something had happened. I don't know if it was a horrible storm.
Oh my God. I had all of the storms. I was like the mayor for the end of days.
Right. You were
Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
My
That's
first
what
24
it was.
hours, I had Snowmageddon.
Yes.
I had the tornado. I had derecho. I had floods. I had an
Wow.
earthquake.
She's like Noah
Everything
from
but
the
the
Bible.
damn plague.
Yeah. So that's how you started.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Yes. When you look back on it now.
That's when I should have run.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Would you ever run again for office?
I will say never say never.
How about governor?
No.
Not interested?
No.
Senate?
So when I was little, that
was your dream?
That was my dream. My dream does not look like what the Senate looks like today.
Right. Are you happy with our federal government right now?
Nope.
How about the Democratic Party?
Frustrated.
Do you think it needs a massive change?
It does, yeah.
Do you think it's being misled?
What do you mean?
Do you think that the people that have the most influence in that party are leading people down an unelectable path?
Who are you speaking of?
Let's start with Jeffries. Do you think he's being honest with the American people that the Democratic Party is united and ready to move forward and endorse the best possible candidate there is?
When did he say that?
I'm paraphrasing. I'm not going to lie. I'm paraphrasing.
I have a lot of respect for Hakeem Jeffries.
Yes.
I think he's smart. He means well. I think he's principled. I do not feel that he or any other congressional leader is
Say no more.
leading the yeah.
I get it.
There's no real. It doesn't feel like there's real leadership of the Democratic
Without
Party.
disrespect, no disrespect, you guys don't have a Trump. You don't have a polarizing figure that I see that's going to come out and be like, we're going to kick everybody's ass. I don't give a shit who's standing in my way. We're going to do this right. Are those candidates out there and the public just doesn't know them?
So I don't know. Maybe we would be more successful as a party if we had a Trump. I don't know if that's what the country needs.
Well, I don't mean Trump as in like the boss sort of throwing the hammer. I just mean somebody that can look at his own people and be like, we're going to do this. We're going to go all the way and we're not going to let up. And I mean, do you have someone that can like, listen, let's be honest. No offense. AOC, Bernie, Newsom, name somebody that you would like to see president in your party.
I don't think that we have someone as polarizing or as
that's the right word. I mean, he's
polarized.
just yeah. Because the people that love him, it's undeniable.
Yeah.
And the people that hate him, it's undeniable. I don't know if you guys have that rally king or queen.
Yeah.
You know who I think you should run, honestly? You.
Yeah, no, thank you.
You don't want to be president?
Why would I?
What are you talking about? Why wouldn't you want to be president? You wouldn't want to be the first.
No.
Too much pressure? Too much expectation? You would be the hottest world leader in the world. Am I right or wrong, Matt? Name me a country
I don't know.
with a finer looking leader.
Let me
Yeah.
say this. Let me just say this.
Man.
The reason why I was interested in politics and government is because I grew up dreaming of making a difference. And that
You don't
was
think
it.
you could do that as president?
Not in today's world.
That's an interesting statement, Madam Mayor. You're the president of the United States, and with that power, you can't make change. Is the system just too set up to not let somebody have that kind of effect?
I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in the American public right now because we seem to be more interested in fighting each other than
That's
finding
cycles, though.
Yeah.
You know that.
Well,
when we
that's
were
the
kids,
cycle that we're in right now.
I
I don't
agree
like
with
it.
you. I'm with you.
It's a pretty rough cycle we're
it's
in, man.
brutal, man.
I found it very interesting that you wanted to be in politics. I mean, how young were you when you knew you wanted to start politics?
So I didn't consider it politics. I just thought it was, helping out.
Yeah,
And
but you
like
knew you
what-
wanted to be a senator when you were young, huh?
Yeah, when I was like in elementary school.
Yeah.
Third,
Wow.
fourth grade.
Well, I think your dad had a lot to do with that. I would imagine.
My
right?
father and Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, yeah.
To this day.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question. Did you ever go to the White House?
Yeah.
You've been in it, right? Yeah.
Tons of times.
Is it cool?
Yeah, it's very cool.
Did you ever go upstairs? Did you get the private?
No,
You
I
never-
wanted to.
Were you mayor when Obama was president?
Mhm.
And even then, you couldn't get in. I mean, like,
I got
could see
in.
the
I
white
wasn't
guy
going
like that.
upstairs though.
even Obama and Michelle didn't let you up.
But so they were much more formal.
Were they really?
I mean, as far as
Are they kind of nerdy?
of course, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad
I
way.
know what you mean. Kind of
Like,
straight laced,
Yes,
right?
very, and
Yeah.
and I appreciated that. It wasn't like they weren't selling the White House. You know what I mean? What?
I know exactly what you're talking. I get it.
They weren't, and
Right.
and it wasn't. They were. I felt like they set up respectable boundaries.
I will tell you one thing about President Obama. I do think that he...
And I'm going to take my vitamins while we're talking.
Please do. I will say this about President Obama. I do believe he had an incredible respect for the history of the presidency and the weight of the power of that position. But I do think he was a little bit of a unnecessarily polite politician all the time. I think he could have been incredibly more effective had he shown some true passion and anger almost at times. Right? He was always so reserved that to me, I was like, come on, man, tell somebody to step up. You feel that way about him?
No.
That's interesting. We're the same guy we're watching, right?
Well,
I'm not being funny. Is it a black thing? Like, I'm not being funny. Was it for you because he was the first black president?
I think, I think people interpret anger
Differently.
I think a white person can be angry differently than a black person can be angry. How it's perceived. I mean,
Understood.
Think about
right.
it.
I understand.
Trump,
I do.
Trump just said "fuck."
Right. And it was the most well-placed presidential line I've ever heard.
And
by the way, so did you. And that was hot.
And Fox defended it as him being passionate.
I agree.
That's the same station that was apoplectic when Obama wore a tan suit.
Well,
so
listen,
if
you're
Trump,
right.
If Trump can say fuck, and Obama can't wear a tan suit, you can't tell me that he should have been angry. Like it's not interpreted the same.
Agreed. And I will say this: any white person that tells a black person how to dress is out of their mind, because I have yet to see a black man dressed up and went, that doesn't look good. Right? I've seen plenty of white dudes like, what the fuck? But never, black dudes got it down. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I agree. Does this city have a race problem?
All cities do.
Do you really think so, though?
Tell me a city that doesn't.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Is not understanding the other race a problem, or is it just something we're too afraid to address?
What do you mean? You
have a different culture than I do. Growing from the time you're born, there are things that are black that black people do. And it's just who you are. White people do. It's who we are.
What do you do that I don't do?
I'll give you something. Eat mayonnaise. I bet you don't like mayonnaise.
The fuck? Absolutely. Why wouldn't I like mayonnaise?
You're going to tell me that mayonnaise isn't scary to black people on the whole?
It's scary to me. I'm a white guy, and I'm afraid of it.
I've never heard of
How is it racist?
Because that's not a black thing.
Eddie Griffin.
I only know one black person who doesn't like mayonnaise. And
who is it?
I'm not saying.
I can tell you 10.
Well, I only know one, and he's a very, very intellectual individual.
Let me take a guess.
No, you don't know him.
How do you know? I know a lot of very.
You don't. He's a professor.
That's who I was going to guess.
Who?
Was he from Cornell?
No.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Not him?
No.
Yeah, he hates me.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. I'll tell you later. All right. Forget mayonnaise. Let me ask you this.
No, I want to know something you do that I don't do.
It's not that you don't do.
Just tell me. Give me some different.
When you have your family over and you cook outside, what's it called?
Cookout.
Cookout?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What do you call it?
Well, I call it a cookout, but a lot of black people where I grew up in the city, they always say come over for a barbecue.
Okay.
All right. So maybe we're more similar than I thought.
See?
Maybe I'm a racist.
That's why we vibe.
Would you consider me a racist? How long have we known each other? We've talked. Would you think I'm racist?
I don't think so. I think you, me, and everybody else can say some racist shit.
Yeah, but what's wrong with that?
I'm not. There's plenty wrong with it. I'm not saying we should or shouldn't.
Right.
I'm saying that people can, in their
Can
heart,
you notice things about other races and it not be racist and it just be funny?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's racist.
It's all about intent, though, right? Isn't it the intent?
Yeah. By the way, when did you become like the 5th most gorgeous person that ever lived? What year was that? What year?
You're so kind.
15, 16? When did you do
As soon as I got done being mayor.
Is that what happened?
Well, you spit your gum out, dude.
I can't. I don't know where to put it.
Come on.
I've been trying for 20 minutes.
You're here with the mayor.
Not anymore.
Come on.
Listen, I'm just trying to take my multivitamins.
How many you take a day?
1 million.
Why?
I don't know, because I'm
'Cause somebody
55.
Which ones do you take?
Everything.
You take fish oil?
Fish oil. Name something.
Vitamin D with K2?
Yep.
You get high? You smoke pot?
No.
It's legal. Why would you answer like that?
Why would you think that I would?
Why would I think you wouldn't?
Am I sitting here with a handful of vitamins and
Take
you're asking
them. The camera's
me
on me. Go ahead. Put the camera on me.
I don't care. They're vitamins. I don't care. I don't understand how me taking vitamins makes you think that I should be getting high.
I didn't think that. I just asked, do you drink? I know you love Orange Crushes.
I love Orange Crushes.
So what's wrong with loving
old fashions?
You do like old fashions?
Love.
Wow. Who's got the best old fashioned you ever had?
Me.
You make them?
Yeah.
Hey, Matt. I don't know if you know what the mayor just did, though. She just invited us out to make. She's going to make us old fashions
at my barbecue.
Yeah, your barbecue. Yeah.
What are some of your favorite spots in Baltimore?
So I live in North Baltimore, so I'm a Hamden. I like Hamden.
Is that you over that way?
Yeah.
So you're down on the avenue then.
I am.
Yeah.
I love there's so many good places. So I like Food Market.
That's my favorite breakfast.
Dude,
Yeah,
that place
Urban
is...
Oyster. I like Duchess. I like Dylan's Oyster Bar.
Yeah.
All good spots.
When you grew up you were on the west side, right?
Yeah, Northwest Baltimore.
Do you remember Shake and Bake?
Yes, I do.
You know, I went to that.
Really?
I'm going to tell you a story.
You made it out?
Not only did I make it out, I was breakdancing. You think I'm lying? This is a true story, man.
I don't think you're lying.
And I was like one of 4 white kids in there at the time. The other 3 were with me. And we got into the dance battle.
We still haven't seen a video of this yet, by the way.
1983,
yeah.
4, whatever.
Well, you claim there's video.
Not of that night. There's video of me breakdancing at that age.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, like we were really good, like for real. I mean, we kind of got smoked. But...
I don't. It's not hard to
But
believe.
did you ever go?
Okay, I went during the daytime. My parents didn't let me go at nighttime.
Right. I went during the day. It was like a Sunday afternoon thing. It was all teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I saw you there. That's why I was asking.
You wouldn't have seen me.
Where did you go to college?
Oberlin.
Where is that? I forget.
Ohio.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Are you a proud alumnus? You go back and do shit for them?
I've done like podcasts with the president. Right. I'll speak to students and stuff like that, but it's in a really boring part of Ohio. So
is there a really exciting part? Have you ever been to the really exciting part of Ohio?
Which part is that? Would that be like
what do you call it? Where the
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah, that's Cleveland, right?
Cleveland.
Yeah,
So
I guess Cleveland's like Baltimore.
I don't want to. No, it's not. I don't want to speak ill of Cleveland because I really like the mayor. He's doing a great job.
Right.
But yeah, no, Oberlin is in the middle of nowhere. It's the middle of like farm fields and.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that where Dave Chappelle lives now? Doesn't he live somewhere else?
Yeah, he lives near. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Huh? You ever see him, Chappelle?
I've met him one time.
Was he nice to you?
Very nice.
He's one of the nicest human beings I've ever met, and one of the smartest.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant dude. You ever go see comedy anymore since me?
You ruined it for her.
Maybe she thought they'd never see a better one. Huh?
I went to a show a couple months ago at the place that's near the bus thingy.
Yeah, the Comedy Factory, Baltimore Comedy Factory.
Yeah,
Who'd you see?
It was a bunch of people, but the reason why I went was to see a woman named Eva, who was on like a reality show in New York.
I don't know. Black girl, white girl?
Black.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is.
I'll show you a photo. Oh, I laughed.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. However, I went with my brother and, I like to be under the radar.
Yeah, you're not a here I am girl.
No.
I've always noticed that about you.
Yeah, so I was sitting there minding my business. And one of the comedians, he's a black guy, kind of heavyweight. I forget his name.
Is he from here?
No. It was an international. It was
like
not international. It was national.
National tour? Yeah, gotcha.
And I'm going to remember his name later, but right now I don't.
What did he say to you?
He didn't say anything until my brother got up in the middle of the guy's set to go speak to someone because I
got it.
He was making a joke about old people.
Right.
And he pointed out this older gentleman in the audience at the next, you know how the tables are set at the next table.
Right.
And it was a guy that we knew, but
your brother went over to talk to him.
He was like, hey. So the guy is just like,
what are you doing?
Getting up in the middle of my show. And then,
yeah.
My brother what, he didn't think anything of it. He was just happy to see this.
Right, of course.
So then when he sits down next to me, then the attention's on me. And the guy, and
did he know who you were?
Yes. And then he starts going in, and I'm like, just.
You take that stuff well, though, don't you?
Yeah.
But you get shy. You're almost shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Introverted.
Were you shy as a kid?
Introverted, yeah.
Yeah. Was being mayor hard for you? Like, were press conferences and those things nerve-wracking for you?
It wasn't. The work part wasn't the hard part. It was socializing was more.
Yeah.
You mean just going and hanging out?
Yeah. When I don't know how to describe it.
Well, Madam Mayor, I don't know if you know this around the city. I'm a pretty big deal. So when I go out, I get swarmed a lot, right? So what I've learned to do over the years is just sit down and act like it's normal.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
You have to. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, for me, you said it. I'm not a here I am type of person.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. You've never
So-
come across that way.
So for me, when I was, having to go out and do, public events, I don't expect people to, oh my God,
Yeah, right.
So I didn't expect it when I was mayor. Don't expect it now. So, but I think sometimes when you're not like glad handing and all that stuff,
It
people
surprises you. Yeah.
but people then think, oh, she's stuck up.
Right.
or,
Because you don't go up to them.
Yeah,
Right.
they
Yeah.
get the wrong impression.
Yeah.
I get that because I do lots of public stuff too for
Yeah.
my work and always comfortable doing that. But then it is different when you're surrounded by a billion different acquaintances and things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the person you met when you were mayor where you literally were like, oh my God?
RuPaul.
Are you serious?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Were you jealous of an outfit? Like, what the hell was it?
So
Why were you so enamored with RuPaul?
because if you can't tell, I enjoy makeup.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've said this, I don't remember who I was talking to about you. I said, another thing she doesn't get, you're kind of very like fashionable for a mayor. A lot of female mayors are sort of, I don't know how to say it.
Just like a boring pantsuit.
Yeah,
kinda
what was that lady
thing,
from
right?
Chicago, the idiot?
Don't do that.
Yeah, what
We're
not-
not talking mean about people.
I didn't say me. I just said she was dumb. Whatever her name is, she dressed very, very plainly. You know, I'm sorry. Don't put the camera on her. She's taking her. You know what is the
I'm
word?
taking
Then?
my vitamins. Nothing wrong with that.
What is the word for the way those types of people dress, where it's just very plain? I don't know the word.
Androgynous? Maybe?
No, I don't even mean that. Just like the boring suits, like I look like I'm a mayor.
Stiff. I don't know.
Stiff. You were like, I like you as a mayor. You were modern, beautiful. You dress cool. Like, did you like that part of it? Like, you knew you had it going on, though, right?
I listen. You know how people are in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Like I went to Western. That was like expected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So for me, it was normal.
Right.
So I like looking nice. I was raised to believe that when you go out, you are not just representing yourself, you're representing your family. And when I was mayor, I took it seriously that I was representing the city. So I felt like, the better I looked, the better the city looked.
No, I got to ask you. So, did famous people ever hit on you? I know you met a lot of famous people. I'm not going to ask names. Did you get hit on a lot as mayor?
I will say probably more than I recognize, because
Right.
what my friends say about me is that I have no clue when someone is hitting on me.
You knew when I was, though, because you would laugh. And I flat out told you I was.
But that's what I will say, that probably more than definitely it happened, but
Yeah.
I know it probably happened more than I
Then you
realized.
took in. Yeah. What's your biggest regret from your time as mayor? You have them. Don't say you don't.
Well, you know what?
What would you change if you could?
What I don't do is do that, right?
I get it.
Because what I know is, at the time I made any decision I made, whether it was personally, whether
Yeah.
it was professionally, I try at every time to make the best decision I can with the information that I have at the time.
I get that.
And hindsight is not the information you have at the time, right?
Correct. I agree.
So I don't think that it's to say what you would do differently suggests that you have that information.
Then.
Right.
Right.
And you
You're
don't.
right. It's not
And
a
you
fair
don't.
question.
So, so I don't live with that type of regret.
Yeah.
One of the things that I will say that I didn't realize I missed out on as much as I realized after I was out of office was time with my daughter.
Yeah.
Because there was never a time in her life that I wasn't in elected office.
Right.
There was never a
You
time
sacrifice a lot for the public. Like
in her, yeah.
It's not the same, but like Matt and I both, you know, you do morning radio and then you have appearances and you get 3 hours a day with your kids and 12 with everybody else.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean?
What do you and your daughter like to do when you guys are together?
Besides
right
look
now,
like the best looking
right
couple
now, we're obsessed with Love Island.
Really?
Love Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't watched that yet. Is it anything like, what was the one, The Tribe Has Spoken?
It's a little bit like that, but
What was
like,
that called?
Like Survivor.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little bit like Survivor, but it's also like,
Are they banging on the show? Like, do people
apparently.
hook up? Really?
Mm-hmm.
So they all go on single?
Everybody's single.
So they get there and then like they hook up.
You're supposed to, the couple that wins like $100,000.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to find love.
I can find love quick for 50 grand.
I know, right?
I love you.
Right?
Let's get the check.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. So we're obsessed with that right now.
Do you two, like you and your daughter, do you ever talk about that though? Your career and the times you missed out on her and stuff?
Sometimes, not a lot.
She's got to
but
be
sometimes.
incredibly proud of you though, right?
Absolutely. But you know,
Does she share that with you?
Yeah.
What a wonderful child. No, I'm serious.
No, she does. But there are times that she says things that I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know, like one time she was talking to her friends about when I was mayor, and she mentioned the fact that I would read at everyone else's school, but I never came to her school to read. And I was like, damn it. Yeah.
Missed that one.
Right. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I hear you. Believe me. I get it. Do you say really you're not sure if you're going to ever run again?
I said I'm never saying never. I'm just saying right now.
Would it be federal if you run again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind. I don't want to put you in a bad spot.
Yeah,
there's a couple seats right now. I'm just saying there's a couple seats right now that if you ran, I wouldn't be upset. She won't even look over. That's so funny.
I think she's taking medication to calm herself down from the show.
I'm trying to take my vitamins, but I can't take.
Why do you take your vitamins at 5 p.m?
Because I forgot. Because I'm 55 and I forget stuff.
I know.
I take listen, my damn Nariva's in here. That's why I forgot to take them because I didn't take them this morning.
What do you do for fun? Nobody around. Seriously. It's just you. You got the world to yourself. What's something you'd love to do?
I love learning new things.
Me too.
I love listening to Audible.
Me too.
I love relaxing.
What's the latest book?
So I'm a nerd. So right now I'm listening to this book called Outlive.
What's that about?
Longevity.
AI. That's all you got to do is listen to them.
No, it's more about well-being, right? Like health, the vitamins,
Supplements,
exercise.
Which is like the number one thing you can do to stave off.
Stop all
mental
this
decline.
bullshit.
It's true. It's true.
Shut the listen to me, Madam Mayor. As you eat the popcorn after your 39 vitamins, I just saw you.
Hey, that's a whole grain, my brother.
I get it.
It's a whole grain.
I get it.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: what about flat out like? You ever just go out and get fucked up? Nobody around. Like, you ever just get hammered?
In my house, yeah.
That's what I mean. You ever just like tie it on?
Mm-hmm. Not a lot, but yeah.
And you don't smoke pot, do you?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever?
So not while I was in office.
I mean, in your life, have you ever smoked pot?
When I was 50 in Amsterdam.
Hell yeah!
I was just like, I'm 50 years old.
You're not mayor at that point.
No.
Were you the chair then?
No.
That was after. Did you like that being the chair?
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
What happened?
What do you mean?
Why aren't you still there?
The U.S. Conference of Mayors?
No.
Chair of what?
The DNC.
I wasn't chair. I was secretary.
Secretary. I'm sorry. Why'd you leave that?
I wasn't reelected.
Who elects it? The jerk offs in the party? What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it? Do you want him to be your campaign head of your campaigin?
Madam Mayor, listen to me. You think I'm bullshitting? I could get you elected in any office you run for.
Thank you. Lord. I appreciate it.
I guarantee I
will keep that in mind.
Her people will contact your people.
Here's what I tell people all the time. if you just say it the way people talk, not in politicese, just talk street
How long
language,
do you think you would last as the mayor, the way you talk?
I guarantee you I could do 4 terms. I could do Schaefer shit. You think
Okay.
fuck it, I'm running now, you piss me off.
You don't even live in the city.
I can do that. Yeah, I do now.
Where do you live?
You want me to tell you for real? I live 2 blocks north of Herring Run Park.
Okay.
Yeah, you know where Coco's is?
Absolutely. I want to go there.
Let's meet. I'm across the street.
Me either.
I got a pool, everything.
Do you?
Well, we're gonna talk, Madam Mayor. Have you been to Coco's?
Not lately. I wanna
You've
go.
been though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
your favorite restaurant in Baltimore?
So this is one of the best things about Baltimore,
Is there's 100?
and there really are. It like
I
literally
agree
just
with you.
depends on what your mood is.
Yeah.
And like
Italian, there's 10 great ones. Greek, the Indian.
it doesn't matter.
with
It's almost an impossible question. It's like,
It
it's
really
like, what's
is.
your favorite song? You know?
Yeah.
That's a, You're a huge Prince fan, right?
Mhm.
Were you at the arena the last time he was there?
Mhm.
Wow.
You know, I saw him at the Lyric. Did you see him there with the 4-piece? It was
think
before
so.
you were mayor. I remember
I
that.
don't remember.
That was
were-
Prince's last show, wasn't it? Was that
The
his
arena.
last show in
They-
Baltimore?
I-
Yeah, I think it was.
I think that was Prince.
His last show before he died, right?
I think it was.
Wow.
Him and Elvis, by the way. No, Elvis did one after
Okay.
us. Yeah. But yeah, Baltimore. It's where
Yeah.
you come to die.
Yes. Jeez.
Now, come on. What's wrong with that?
Get him, please.
Listen.
Get him.
The crime in the city is the same as every city. Are all major cities like this?
So,
Why is Baltimore stand out? What is the problem?
well, it should stand out for the reduction we've had in crime. It's not. It's no
I'm
longer,
going to acknowledge that.
no
Very
longer
true.
in the top 10.
Why were we so bad, you think, for so long?
There's
Is it socioeconomic at the end of the day?
there are tons of reasons.
Yeah. What
Um,
do you think's most important?
I think so it's not there's no one thing, because if there was one thing,
We'd fix it.
correct.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
I think addiction fuels a lot of crime. I think the changing, the evolution of legalization has impacted criminal, like the
Yeah.
incidents
I
of
get it.
crime, and that's taken a while.
How about old-fashioned ass whoopings? Don't you think they went away, and that kind of like people aren't afraid anymore? I think people kind of have this sort of. I'm not even being funny here. Like I think kids now are raised.
You really think that?
Yeah.
People that
I think people
parents should hit their kids?
not hit them. I mean, I'm not saying abuse them, but I don't. I think boys should fear men when they're little. I think that's how men learn to be respectful, is by other men teaching them
Well, sure.
how to be. And no offense, I don't care what color, religion. You're a 16-year-old boy, and your 120-pound mother is telling you to get inside, and you.
It depends on who your mom is. Not my mom, but it depends on who your mom is, though.
I wouldn't know who that
Right?
mom was. Remember during that, she grabbed that boy, beat his ass all
Yeah.
the way home. You know who that lady is?
I
She should
remember-
run for mayor, by the way.
So, back to your point,
Yeah.
there are lots of reasons why crime continues to be a problem. However, as I said,
It is
we should-
getting better.
a lot better. And
What do you think of the current mayor? And you can say no comment if you'd like, and I won't push.
I met our current mayor when he was my campaign volunteer when I was running for city
Yes.
council president. And what impressed me was his dedication, not
Yeah.
just to my campaign, but to the city.
Yeah.
And he continues to impress me
Mm-hmm.
because he cares deeply about the city. And I know that that's what motivates him.
Yeah.
I don't think that any mayor, including myself, is perfect.
Yeah. No.
But what I want from elected officials is people who have a heart for service,
Yeah.
and that when they lift their hand and take the oath to serve, that they're serving the people of the city and not their own personal ambitions.
Yeah.
And that is something that I know for sure that
You
Mayor
believe
Scott.
that it's his intent and what he is?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I just wondered. You know, I don't know the guy. I like the idea of him. A young man, grew up in the city. You know, I like the idea of it. I don't know if I agree with everything, but I do. I think I like him, like as a man.
You should. He's
Yeah,
a good guy.
I'd like to meet him. I'm trying to get him on the show. Matt, would you want to have him on?
Of course.
He'll have
but,
better hair than both
yeah.
of them. He's got great hair, man. He does. I like that. Every time I watch him, I find myself not listening to what he's saying and going, damn, that's a good head of hair. That's the stuff I think that matters, man. And all the greats. What's your ambition as far as like the future? What is the plan for you right now?
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. All politicians have like a 3-4 year plan.
I'm retired.
You want to be on this show full time?
No, I don't.
I figured I'd ask.
What did you think the answer was going to be?
Why don't you do your own show?
What would I talk about?
How about the fact you're a very smart, educated woman who achieved incredible success? And I think if you did a show that focused on those particular things, women moving forward.
You can produce it for me.
Done. You want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
I have a network in it. Don't fuck with me on this show, madam.
He's dead serious.
I'm dead serious. I'm starting an entire network, madam. Okay. And I think you would be an amazing addition. Do your own show, whatever you want. You make a ton of money. We're going to talk. See, you're hitting on me right now, Matt. You see it, right? What is next for you, though? What's the big plan?
So I signed with the Speakers Bureau because
I'm not being funny. What does that mean? Like, what is the Speakers Bureau?
So when colleges get commencement speakers.
Oh, so you go and do speeches.
Right.
Got it. Is it mainly schools? Is it corporations?
Everything.
Yeah.
Is there a book involved in there somewhere?
So I am working. I don't know if I want to talk about it.
Fair enough. But you are doing things.
I'm working. I do aspire to be an author.
Just do it, Madam Mayor. You don't have to aspire.
Okay. Was writing a big part of what you did when you were young, or
no,
do you write now for fun? Or
I write for fun.
Yeah.
So I didn't always want to, especially like right after I was in politics.
Yeah.
If everyone was like, "Oh, you should write a book about
right,
it,"
of course,
like,
mention names, cash in.
Right. That really wasn't.
That was another thing. When you left office, I respected the way you did it. You left, you stayed quiet, you lived your life.
Yeah.
I had a lot of respect for that.
Thank you.
For real. So did you write anything yet?
So it took me a while because as we talked about, I'm not a like me person.
Right.
And the people that approached me about doing books were just like, "Oh, you should do a book about yourself." And I was like, I don't really like talking about myself isn't really my thing.
Right.
So I finally worked with a few people and came up with 2 concepts that one is a fiction book.
Good for you.
It's like, you know how Scandal is like loosely based on a real person.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like loosely based on.
If you need a short white guy that's funny in the movie when it gets made,
got it.
Remember, I'm from Baltimore.
Yeah. So it's loosely based on me, but it's a political crime thriller.
I love that. Listen, I have an idea for a book, and it's about a radio host who's a serial killer. Hear me out. I'm giving it away right now. That's the plot. But turns out he becomes famous because he tells the police that this guy starts writing him. So he's playing both sides.
I love that.
So he's toying with everybody. I've been writing it for like longer than that, like 15 years.
Wow.
I keep going through this thing in my head.
Yeah.
And there's politics involved because the mayor gets threatened in the city. And it's so,
Is that what you read a lot of true crime or crime-based stuff? Yeah. Yeah.
Have you been following the Diddy trial?
A little bit.
Oh,
Perfect timing.
We would love to get your take.
Yeah,
on
here
the
we
whole
go.
Diddy
We
thing.
do news here, but you'll say, chime right in. This is a little thing we call That's the Facts, Matt. That's our news. Brought to us by Barnes Paving, the amazing people. BARNES paving.com. Insured, licensed, Better Business Bureau. They're the best around. Give them a call. No job too big, too small. Mention Mickey Talks. Get 10% off. Again, we are here with the former mayor of Baltimore, Miss Stephanie Rawlings-Blake. It is an honor to have you.
My pleasure to be
Welcome
here.
to the news. We call it That's the Facts, Matt. What do we got, buddy?
Yeah, so Diddy, the Wednesday's court session in the Sean Diddy Combs trial occurred without the jury present. Prosecutors simplified the case for the jurors by dropping a couple of the original indictments against Diddy of kidnapping and attempted arson. The jurors will deliberate on the outstanding counts of sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution, and racketeering. Jury deliberations may start on Monday. The judge had intense discussions with the defense attorneys and prosecutors over the instructions that would be given to the jurors so they adequately understand the law. Those heated negotiations went until 8 o'clock last night, and the judge scheduled the prosecution's closing arguments for today. They could spend as many as 4 hours reviewing the evidence against Diddy and witness testimony. The defense will have overnight to craft their response, and then on Friday, they will try to persuade the jury why the prosecution failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Diddy committed these alleged crimes. Have you been following this at all? I mean, what is your take? I mean, it's kind of looking to the public like there's more and more of a chance of him that he could walk. I mean, do you think that there's a chance of that happening?
So, I think anyone who says they know for sure is
a liar.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I know for sure. What I will say is from the first day, I felt that it seemed to me to be more about destroying his reputation than getting a guilty verdict.
But did he have a good one before?
Whether he had a good or not.
Yeah.
I felt like the charges were aspirational, not.
I understand. You didn't think they were legit.
I felt like it
Weak
was a
charges,
stretch. It was a stretch.
I mean, some people are saying that the prosecution took some liberties. Other people are saying they didn't go far enough.
Well, I mean, they're going for racketeering. So they're going for like this big overall combination of all these things together. So if they miss that, I mean, does that mean he walks, or are they going to get him on some lesser thing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would not. What it feels to me is that even if he walks, he doesn't walk because they've dragged him.
Oh, it's worse than OJ at this point. Yeah. I mean, do you? I don't know how to ask this question.
I don't think it's worse than OJ.
You don't think what they did to him is worse than OJ?
Oh, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about like the very fact. No one could ever look that man in the eyes again now, P. Diddy. I don't think. I mean, you see that video of him beating that woman. Yeah, I mean, these sex parties, which, by the way, I've even said on the show, Matt, like consenting adults.
Well, sure.
I don't give a shit what they do. Yeah. But that's the argument now is everybody was there. It's not, nobody was tied down. It's weird.
Well, right. But it's complicated because people who are in that position where they feel like all my bills are being paid by this guy.
Right.
My record deal is on the line.
All I got to do is everything he says.
Yeah. I mean, you feel all that pressure to act like everything's fine and this is what I want to do.
Do you still practice law?
No.
Let's say pretend a second you're a defense attorney. Could you take a client like that as a woman? I'm just curious.
I wouldn't want to.
Right. You wouldn't want to defend that, right?
No.
Yeah. Good for you. That's a great answer. Yeah. I think. Honest. You know what I mean?
So 3 Mile Island's last reactor is being turned back on under a different name. It's the site of the worst commercial nuclear accident in U.S. history will be roaring back to life soon. The last working nuclear reactor at 3 Mile Island near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, will soon start generating power for Microsoft under a 20-year agreement. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro toured the reactor yesterday, saying the move will create jobs in the state by bolstering energy production. In 1979, a partial meltdown of the Unit 2 reactor core caused national panic. 3 Mile Island has been renamed the Crane Power Plant, and the reactor will be activated in 2027.
Madam Mayor, are you pro-nuclear energy? Or are you against it?
So it's hard because it is one of the most efficient
and cheap.
Forms of energy. So I'll say this. I'm not up on current nuclear.
Right. I get it. You're not an expert in the field. Right.
So I can't really say as far as, what that looks like and what the environmental impacts are.
If a nuclear company, say you're mayor, and they come to Baltimore and they say, hey, we'd like to discuss building a power plant. Is that a conversation you would have even considered?
No.
You would not even have considered it?
Not in Baltimore.
Now, say they went over to Beth Steel, built the plant there. Like, it's not really in the city,
all right,
but
this is what I will say.
Yeah.
I would have to, like any decision I made, I would have to do the research.
right. But
talk
so
to the
you would
experts.
entertain being presented with the idea so that you could learn about it.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, it's not a hard no.
No, it would be, if anything came up, even if it was controversial,
Yeah.
I would try to learn about it before I.
And then make an educated
Right.
decision. All right, fair enough.
It's tough. I mean,
I'm
you look at these giant subs that get nuclear power, and they go for 30 years without having to recharge them. But then, what if something happens and the thing melts down and something goes
Yeah,
wrong?
But
I mean,
it's what if something happens mechanically, as well as what if some terrorist.
the grid fails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's
I mean,
scary.
we have that now. You know what I mean? Like, they could take that grid out. If
Yeah,
they
but we wouldn't
want.
have a nuclear reactor melting down.
No, agreed.
at
Yeah,
least,
that.
you know?
Yeah.
There's a Russian billionaire who claims he fathered over 100 children.
My
He's
God.
the Telegram founder, Pavel
Is it
Durov.
Elon?
He's got more than Elon. Yeah,
Oh,
he
that's
said over
hilarious.
100 kids he's fathered will inherit his fortune. Even that
They're
includes
each getting $30.
no. Well, he's got $14 billion, so they'll each get around $136 million, $132 million. That includes the 6 kids he's an official dad to, and at least 100 others born through his sperm bank donations.
Wait, he's leaving $100 million for like a forwarded email. Like, it's not even.
I guess some kids they're not going to find out right away, is what they're saying. But
Oh my God.
you
maybe in
imagine?
30 years they'll
Yes.
find out that their dad left them $132 million, which will be worth about $50 by the
By
time
then,
that
yeah,
happens, right?
yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Hey, Madam Mayor, when you've dealt with very wealthy people investing in the city, things
Mhm.
like that, and no names, I promise, but are they all kind of the same when it comes to their approach at business? It's just money to them. It's not personal. They can be heartless. They can be very gracious as long as it's profitable. Is that sort of their mentality, or would you say each case it's different? Like,
I would say each case is different.
mhm.
However, I think when you talk about people, I think people often work in their own self-interest.
Well, I think we all
And-
do, right?
yeah,
and I
and
think it's
then-
natural.
And then sometimes people's self-interest align with others' interest,
And-
right?
oh, I see what you're saying. And sometimes it just goes against everyone.
Right.
Yeah. Was there people that came to the city where you were like, get the fuck out? We're not dealing with you. Business people.
Yeah.
Corporations?
No.
Private.
Hmm.
Wow. You imagine, man? I mean, you want to come into a city and you can, bring the city a ton of money, make yourself a ton of money, and then you're a dick. Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand people like that.
I don't
agree.
understand that in general. It's not that
Yeah, it's
difficult.
weird.
Like it's not that difficult not to be an asshole.
Right. It's easy to not be an asshole.
And I think assholes forget that people have options.
Of course.
Like, you don't have to work with that. Like,
right.
they're
Especially
very-
a mayor.
right. There are people who are stuck working for
Sure.
and with assholes
Yeah.
because they don't have
Matt.
other options.
Matt's stuck working with an asshole.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Of course I do.
But a lot of people have options.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
don't feel
get
that
it.
way at all, Mick.
What's that?
For the record, I don't feel that way at all.
Oh, well, thank you.
So what was your what did you watch Three's Company growing up? What was your favorite shows growing up as a kid?
I like Three's Company.
Three's Company?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't
I
my favorite. But
I still
liked it.
say to this day, one of the greatest supporting characters in a TV show history was Mr. Roper.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy was hilarious.
Absolutely.
And I was a huge
Why
what's
did
his
you
real
bring
name?
up Three's Company?
Yeah,
Well, because we got a Suzanne Summers story here.
I still have my Suzanne Summer Thigh Master.
No,
Do you really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
I
used it,
forgot.
I used it
You-
today.
You used to be a big girl, didn't you?
Yeah, for a little bit.
What can I ask the most you ever weighed?
That's an ignorant question.
So well, I'm ignorant.
I feel, look, I
Were
feel
you
like,
ever over-
I feel like Heg said, that's a horrible question.
Let me ask you a question now. Were you ever to a point where you were like, this is ridiculous?
Yeah.
Like internally.
Internally, yes. When my daughter asked me why everyone in our family was fat,
Did
and
that crush you?
it crushed me because it wasn't everybody, it was me.
Is that right?
And it was, and
Yeah.
it showed you like her worldview was me.
Mm.
And I knew I had to do better.
Well, you did way better.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm going to say this. First of all, you've been a beautiful woman
Thank
since the day you were born. But something happened. I'm not kidding. It's almost, you know how like when Clark Kent goes into the phone booth and then he comes out and he's Superman?
Sure.
You had like a Clark Kent moment. You were beautiful. And then you went into the phone booth and then we saw you again and we were like, what the fuck? Like, you know, there was a bunch of what the fucks, right? About you.
You think?
Madam Mayor, please. You're going to make.
Listen, I think when you're in office, you have a different set of rules that you have to play by. I think when you're not in office, you can.
But even when you were mayor, you were smoking hot.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. What's that other lady's name right now? She just doesn't look like her job because she's attractive. It's a federal lady. Like, they charge her something. You know who I'm talking about.
Christy Nome.
Yeah. It's hard to see women that beautiful in those jobs. I'm glad. But for so long, it was either fat old dudes or not attractive ladies. I don't mean that rudely, Madam Mayor.
Times are changing.
Yeah.
Times they are changing.
Madam Mayor, listen, why when I tell the truth, and you know it is, do you get uncomfortable?
Because there are many attractive women that are.
That's a different word. I think plenty of women are attractive of all sizes.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. There are women, and then there are women where men go, God damn. You know it. There are women you look at and go, damn. You're one of them damn women now.
Well, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. That's complimentary, by the way.
Yeah.
From the streets.
You're speaking for the streets now.
I grew up in the streets.
Oh, Lord.
Just because I ain't from the west side. I'm just from the east side. You guys were better at basketball. I'll give you that.
I wasn't.
We were better at hockey. All right, go ahead.
All right, let's talk about Suzanne Summers. Her widowed husband has found love with her former co-star.
Joyce DeWitt?
You know what? That was my first thought, too.
Hold up.
It's not Joyce DeWitt. Yeah. Wouldn't that have been scandalous, though, if it was Joyce DeWitt?
I know who it was. The guy that looks like Bon Scott that played Larry. Am I right?
What? No, her widow has found love with one of Suzanne Summers' former co-stars.
The blonde woman. What's her name?
It is Joanne Cassidy. Do you know who that is?
That's who.
Joanne Cassidy is a former co-star of Summers. What was the name of her their thing?
I know who you're talking about.
Wasn't she the cousin?
Hollywood Wives. She starred in Hollywood Wives.
Oh, I never.
With Suzanne Summers.
You have to pick up the photo. I have to see the picture. I
can't think who it is. I know who you mean.
I should have brought the picture.
No big deal.
The two were spotted arm in arm in Malibu, California on Monday. Summers and Cassidy both appeared in the 80s film Hollywood Wives.
But not Three's Company. She wasn't in Three's Company.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't a Three's Company star.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, Hollywood Wives is where they starred together, Suzanne Summers and Joanne Cassidy. She passed from cancer, of course, in late 2023. Hamill says his late wife would approve, having told him before her passing to move on with life. Don't mope around.
Good for
He
her.
recalls her telling him, live your life. We will see one another after you cross over. And you know, he made an AI robot version of Suzanne Summers. Do you remember that story?
Oh, yeah, the husband did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
It has her voice. It's something that they talked about, apparently, before they passed. What? Go ahead.
Should I ask Madam Mayor her opinion of my AI girlfriend theory?
Yes.
All right.
What's your AI girlfriend theory?
Let me ask you an honest question. Now, I'm going to ask, you can say no comment. Your relationship status now, would you put that public? Are you single? Are you
divorced, single?
Okay, you're single.
Mm-hmm.
You like the company of someone else. I mean, just casually. You don't mind going on a date, dinner, all that. Okay. What if you had a very realistic robot that could communicate, talk, and then you could go out, do things, whatever you want to do, right? It works.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't feel like talking to them. You just put them in a corner. Like, could you
want
have
an AI girlfriend?
Mickey is convinced that he's going to end up with a robot girl at some point in his life, and he's going to be satisfied with that, right? Isn't that what the point of this?
The point is this.
Yeah.
I do think millions of people are going to find happiness on their terms. Like, because it's then you would have someone. It's sort of a God complex. You have someone that does anything you want for you with no responsibility to them other than charging them. So
I think there's going to be some human element that's going to be missing for some
Yeah,
people. Maybe some people would be happy.
There's a human element missing in a whole bunch of relationships.
Yeah,
well,
that's what.
Well, you're not
truth.
wrong about that.
That's
yeah.
so, Madam Mayor. My point is, if you really
Maybe that's my future.
I'm an AI guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
All
telling you,
okay.
the mayor's with me, Matt.
Not appealing to me at all, but
you have a beautiful wife that loves you.
Yeah, but I'm saying even if
Me
I
and the
did
mayor
it, even if I
we're
did it,
sick of other people. Aren't you sick of other people? Like men, let me ask you something, Madam Mayor.
I'm not sick of men.
Nah, it's not what I mean.
All right, what
Are you sick of like trying to find that connection? Because we all want it. I don't care what anyone says. It's a beautiful thing when you have it.
That's
right
true.
or wrong.
That's true.
So we all, whether it's subconsciously or consciously, we're always wanting that connection to have a ride or die. Somebody
True.
if you fall down the steps, they'll pick you up and put you in a car. Like we all want that. So my point was, a lot of times it's hard to find because you got to deal with all that other shit that makes that them, that makes them that. So I'm just saying, remove all that and get the stuff you want. You're happy.
It's going to be the end of the human race.
I don't think that's
nobody's going to reproduce anymore. We'll have robot significant others.
No, that's not true. You just did your story about the guy with the sperm bank.
Right. Yeah, that
sperm bank will still be open.
Well, that's true.
I'm hoping now my dad wasn't my dad and find out a sperm donor filled in. I'm getting a couple $100 million in a
We're all going to be related to that Russian billionaire.
God forbid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Madam Mayor is down with the AI guy.
All right.
AI guy.
All right.
Good for you.
We'll find you a good one.
A good AI guy?
Yeah. We'll find you a nice robot.
Give me your top 3 sexiest men that ever lived. Your crushes.
Wow, that's a hard one.
Come on, it should be easy. Who's the one guy every time you see him, you go, whoo.
So it's so weird because I'm like part weirdo. So
that doesn't matter.
So there are people that I want to look at, but wouldn't necessarily want to talk to.
Who's somebody you'd love to look at?
Up close, Idris Elba. I would love to look at him up close.
I ain't gonna lie, he's in my top 10. I'm not even gay. That is a gorgeous freaking man. Give me another one.
Who else? That's a hard one.
And let me ask you this: are there men that just the way they are, their swagger, all that, where you're just like, whew, damn?
I think so.
You don't want to say it, do you?
Why are you saying it like that?
Because you're hesitating. What do you hesitate? You know who it is.
You're putting her on the spot.
Though. That's what we do.
On the spot.
Well, what other place? What would I put you?
I don't know.
You're not going to answer?
No.
All right. Fair enough.
I'll think about it though. I'll think if I can come up with another person.
All right. Let me ask you some guys. You say yes or no.
Yes.
All right.
See, that's easier.
DMC from Run DMC.
No.
Daryl Mack. No. All right. Let's go with
Method Man.
That's a yes. Method Man.
Mm-hmm.
See, Mac, this is a good question.
Yeah.
You said it wasn't bad. All right. How about, let's see here. The guy that played Urkel. What was his name?
Yeah, no.
No?
I've seen him in person.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, though.
Nice guy, but no, not on the list. All
But
right.
why would he be on the list?
You didn't put him on the list.
Okay.
That's not on me,
All right, go ahead.
right?
I'm listening.
All right, let's see who else. A young, let's go with Sidney Poitier. Young.
Again, so he would be someone that I would want to like go to dinner with, to
Right.
talk to,
Gotcha.
but not romantic.
All right. You got anybody, Matt? Who can you think? Brad Pitt. Too
No.
white?
No, it's not the white. I don't.
You don't like that look?
Not really.
All right.
Maybe again, like maybe to be in the same room with, just to say that I saw him in person. But,
Yeah, not attracted to him.
mm-mm.
All right. You think of anybody? Let me ask you this: who's uglier, me or Matt? Who's uglier?
Stop.
It's got to be me, right? I'm uglier than he is.
That is a horrible question. That's you putting her horribly on the spot.
All right, I'll ask it
That's
the other way.
uncomfortable.
Who's better looking, me or him?
He's better looking.
See, that means I'm uglier. That's how that question works.
That's not what that means, though. That's not what that means.
I've been doing that question forever. I think I stole it from Scott. So I got it.
Anybody else?
Yeah, you like this question. All
I
right.
do because it's fun.
Let's see. Let me ask you this, and I don't think this is a bad question. Are you attracted to white men?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
So you know who I saw.
Who's
in
your
person?
white guy, dream guy?
Well, for a while, it was a baseball player.
Which one?
I'm not saying.
Madam Mayor, if you're going to play the game,
You know him, right?
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you
no,
know-
I'm saying you know
know
him
him?
personally is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so he's an Oriole.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll leave it at that. I know who it is, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Who is it? Who do you think it is?
I'm not saying. I got it down to 2, I think.
Who?
Is he young?
No.
No. Oh, I was off then.
Oh,
Current-
who were you going to
current
say? Who were you
Oriole
going to
player?
say? Who are you going to
I
say?
thought you might think the kid's cute. The holiday kid.
No.
That blonde-haired, blue-eyed
No,
thing.
but go ahead. Keep going. Who
Is he a
else do you
current
think?
Oriole?
No.
No.
Oh,
I'm not a cougar.
Oh,
Okay.
now it's Earl Weaver. That's
You know, so many people like were in love with Earl Weaver.
Dude, Earl Weaver.
I was in love with Earl Weaver. I thought he was.
Everybody
Yeah.
loved Earl Weaver.
Yeah.
He was the greatest. Did you ever meet him?
I don't think so.
No, he was like smaller than I am, or like
When
my
I tell
size.
you, like I know women that were.
He was this big, by the way. That's
Take
my-
care of business.
Yeah.
You know.
Turn his hat around. He was the.
Yeah.
Let me think of somebody else you might have liked. I'll ask you a question. I might get yelled at for this one. Did you consider Martin O'Malley a handsome man?
I think his physicality,
Mm-hmm.
but his physique, but I think it was from going to an all-girls school, and I
Mhm.
know this is going to sound crazy. Going to an all-girls school, like the people that you were your peers
Uh-huh.
were just your peers. Like I just never got used to thinking of people that I worked with as anything other than.
Okay, so you couldn't see him that
You're
way.
putting her on the hot seat.
No,
man.
no, I'm being.
She asked
Yeah.
for
No,
it.
I'm being very serious about
Yeah.
that. Like people would ask me that about like other mayors from other
Sure.
cities, like especially
Yeah,
when I was in the conference of mayors, and I was just like, I just can't.
Well,
see
that's
other
actually a
people like
good
that.
thing because that shows you're in the work in the moment.
Right? I couldn't. Yeah, it just never.
All right.
Did you go to an all-girls school here
Yeah,
in
Western.
Baltimore?
She
Oh,
went to
Western.
Western.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, one of the first loves of my life went to Western.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't find her anymore, by the way.
Yeah. That
Like
might be-
even like when
She's
Facebook,
not-
purpose.
Really?
I don't know. Like I couldn't find her by name. I don't want to say it on this show because that would be rude.
Yeah.
But yeah, she went to. I'll ask you off air. Maybe you know her. Same age, I think. By the way,
What year did she graduate?
she would. What year did you graduate?
88, destined to be great. We're the class of 88.
She might have been year before.
87. I know a lot of 87 women.
Matt, put the camera on you for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn my mic on.
I'll have to look.
Check the yearbook.
Okay.
Let me know. All right. Madam Mayor with me.
All right.
She's gonna help
May
me out.
find lost
Oh, I
connections
got
with
one
Mick.
guy I got to ask her about.
Oh, ask
All
me,
right,
ask me,
okay.
ask me.
All right, this is a good one. George Clooney.
He's handsome.
He is, right?
Very much so.
Yeah, I think, by the way, crosses all races, all genders. I think anybody looks at George Clooney and goes, yeah, I get it. That's like Idris Elba, right?
Yeah.
I don't care what color, what planet you're from. You see a guy that looks like that, you go, yeah. Yeah, that's a great looking dude. I really wanted him to be the James Bond. Remember
Yeah.
when they were talking about
Mhm.
that?
Yeah.
He would have been a cool ass James Bond.
Yeah. Good
Hey,
choice.
And
I love this game. I wish you would get better at.
do you know what this game
We should have
actually?
prepared for this. You
You
know
should
that?
have, 'cause
We'll do if you come back.
Oh, she's coming back. She's going to be on the network. You think I'm kidding? You're doing a podcast.
Well, I hope she is, but yeah, we'll have to prepare for this next time.
All right, last one I got to ask you.
All right.
But this game's called Would You Bang?
Okay.
All right, Would
All
You
right,
Bang?
All right.
All right, 3 names I'm going to give you. Would you bang? Prince?
You got to give me the 3.
No,
should
no,
be,
no,
It
one
should
at a
be
time.
F, Mary, Kill. That's what you should do.
All right,
Yeah,
all right, there we
you
go. F, Mary, Kill. Okay. Prince, Denzel. You want me to make them all black? I'm gonna
I
make
don't
it.
care.
Okay. Prince, Denzel. I'm gonna throw a wild card in here. I'll go with. Give me somebody, Matt. Anybody, any guy.
Joe Rogan. He's my next story.
Well, you know who's getting killed.
Yeah, he's dead.
I'll make it
Sorry.
easy for you.
Right, so now you got Mary and fuck next. So you got Denzel
Mm.
and who was the other one? I said Prince.
All right.
I can tell you what she's going to say.
I
you,
can-
you have to F Prince and marry Denzel.
I'm almost with you. Yeah.
Joe Rogan, he gone.
He gone. Yeah, right off the bat. And
But if
these,
you would have named you could have made it more interesting.
all right, here we go. Then I'll give you one more shot at this.
All right.
What is it again? Fuck, Mary, kill. Okay, here we go. I'll go with.
Make it all Baltimore sports people.
Oh, Lamar.
He's a child. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Okay, I'll keep it us. All right. McCrary, Michael McCrary.
Okay.
Remember him?
Yeah, of course.
All right, Michael McCrary,
Mm-hmm.
Ray Lewis,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll go with
You didn't even
Adam
get my
Jones.
favorite. Oh, okay.
Okay, Mary,
All
fuck,
right.
kill. Adam Jones, Ray Lewis, and who was the third? Ed Reed.
Oh.
I think we just found our F. All right, so we go fuck Ed Reed. Who dies, Ray or the other one? Ray or Adam Jones? Who dies? You got to marry the other one. I know. It's your game, Madam Mayor.
Okay,
You chose to bang what's his name?
So this is what I will say.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill Ray.
I don't know if you can. That's the problem.
I don't want to,
Right.
but Adam is marriage material.
Yeah, I understand. That's tough, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to marry Adam.
Yeah.
So you like athletes. Is that your thing?
I didn't say that.
You said pick athletes.
To play the
It was just a
game.
good idea.
To
It's
play
just,
the
you know,
game.
All right, 3 other
Good
athletes.
category.
Artie Donovan, Earl Weaver.
Keep going. Go on.
I'm trying to think of another old fat one. And Johnny Unitas. Earl Weaver, Johnny Unitas, and Artie Donovan. Who you banging?
Wait a mined.
The right answer. to bang.
Unitas.
Yes, that's who
Okay.
you're banging.
Mhm.
Now you got to marry Earl Weaver.
She's gonna marry Earl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's marriage material. So that's the thing. You get to once you pick the marriage material, the other person has
Got
to
it.
die.
All right.
It's
Matt,
just like Love Island.
is that how it works?
Yeah, people get like you have to make these stark decisions and people get booted off. Like
Just gone. Oh,
very,
I don't know
very
if I could play that
very
game.
emotional.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I don't know if I could play.
Lots of crying.
I would never last on a game like that.
I wouldn't either because you have to like kiss people all the time.
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, I
No
don't want
way.
to swap and spit with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah,
You
half
wouldn't
those
have-
people have relationships anyway at home. Don't we usually find that out? Isn't it all scandalous like that usually?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think people are. Most people are full of shit.
They're after fame.
Yeah, they're out
Yeah.
for fame.
Yeah.
Which, if you care about fame, you've had it.
No,
Sucks,
but
right?
can I tell you that this has been very enjoyable?
Well, thank you, Madam Mayor. See, I told you when I called you, right? I
You
said we're
did.
going to have fun.
You did.
I just, I told people listening to, I'm like, don't come at me with any political bullshit. This lady's my friend. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Yeah.
we're
I've been
friends.
saying
I mean,
that for weeks
you.
leading up to this.
yeah, like I was
Yeah.
so excited to have you, and I dig you.
you.
I think you're really cool, and I'm, you're from the same city,
Yeah.
the same generation. We may have crossed paths as kids. Who knows?
At Shake and Bake.
Yeah, shake and bake. Oh, I would have remembered you. Oh, but were you
No,
a big
I
girl
was-
back then?
That's all.
Why is that horrible? Why is that horrible?
So
Were you fat in high school?
middle school I was.
So you lost a little weight in high school,
In high school.
and then you
yeah.
gained a little back,
I gained.
or were you like really, really fat and just slow?
No. I gained. I was chunky in middle school,
Uh-huh.
and then in summer camp, this girl said, because I was also pretty nerdy, so
Yeah.
I was chunky and nerdy, and this girl in the camp said to me, Stephanie, if you lost weight, you'd probably get a lot of guys. And I was like, Then I started. Can I tell you what I did to lose weight?
100%.
So it was an art camp because I was a geek.
Why? Okay, let me explain something. I'm an artist.
Okay, but
You're never a geek for being an artist,
so
unless you were making them stupid ashtrays out of coal. and shit.
no. So
Yeah, that dumb
I
as shit.
would
Don't do that.
I would tap dance in my
Okay,
basement.
stop the story right now. Go ahead.
I would tap dance in my basement for hours.
Mhm.
Wow.
to
That's-
lo- and
That's how
lose
you
weight.
lost weight with
Oh,
tap
really?
dancing?
When I was
Can you tap?
Mm-hmm.
You can tap dance.
I love that.
For
That's so cool.
hours.
Yeah.
Wait,
Because at middle school, I didn't know how to lose weight. I just
Yeah.
know this girl told me if I lost weight, I'd probably get lots of guys.
were
I
you
was-
boy crazy like in high school?
No,
Did you
I
love
wasn't.
boys?
I liked boys. I wasn't boy crazy.
No, never were?
No,
Good for you. How about college?
not boy crazy.
Did you ever go through that phase where you're like not proud of yourself?
Oh yeah.
You did, right?
Yeah.
What were those ages?
What do you
think?
mean?
I don't mean like slutty. I just like where you were like, I did things I shouldn't have because I was desperate to be loved. And
No.
Never did any of
not
that shit?
desperate to be loved.
No,
No, not that.
good for you. I did
But-
tons. I got married. Desperate for love.
But like definitely, I think everybody has their little phase.
Yeah. Oh God, I was almost asked. I'm not. All right,
Don't do it.
I'm not.
What's your fitness program now? What do you do to stay in shape?
Popcorn and
So-
Diet Coke. We watched.
Popcorn,
that.
And
so
vitamins.
Yeah.
So I do strength and resistance training, and I walk.
Really?
Walking is great.
Mhm.
I just started that. Well, I need to get back into that. But a few years ago, I was in better shape. And yeah, man, those hills,
Yeah.
you'll get the heart rate up
Mhm.
and burn some calories. And it's low impact. Doesn't mess your
Yeah.
joints up like
And
running does.
My ankles are very small,
Well,
and they're like,
But you're always wearing like 3 and 4, 5-inch heels. It can't be good for your ankles, is it? I don't know.
it makes my legs look good.
They look phenomenal, but
Thanks.
but is it worth the pain?
Yes.
I love an honest woman. I love an honest woman.
Uh,
We got more?
yeah, let's
What else
talk.
we
Let's
got?
talk about Joe Rogan. He's kind of
The mayor already threw him
He's
off the
dead.
list.
he's been killed.
Yeah.
No, he's actually being threatened right now. You guys know who the Liver King is? Have you ever heard of the Liver
just
King?
have you? Yes, I bet you do. Remember the guy a couple years
I
ago?
got a picture of him.
He had a beard. Shredded.
Well, he's right
dude.
here. He's right
Look,
here. If
Can you see
check
that
him out.
guy on the screen there?
Oh my lord.
Do you remember him?
No, I
Doing-
don't.
I used to do all these crazy like strength videos.
Well, he's a weird influencer who calls himself the Liver King because he eats raw organ meat. That's his secret to you ever hear those people they're on the carnivore diet? You ever hear the carnivore diet?
it's what do you call it? Keto. Like
Well,
No,
it's
but
it's
that's-
beyond
yeah,
keto.
that's
It's
crazy.
beyond keto.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that man looks weird.
oh, that man.
He
is
does,
weird.
and he's obviously a little off because his real name is Brian Johnson. He goes by the Liver King. He was arrested Tuesday in Austin on a charge of making a terroristic threat after posting a video on Instagram in which he challenged Joe Rogan to a physical fight. So in the video, he said, "Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out. My name's Liver King. Man to man, I'm picking a fight with you. I have no training in jiu-jitsu. You're a black belt. You should dismantle me, but I'm picking a fight with you. Your rules, I'll come to you whenever you're ready."
He couldn't have gotten arrested for that.
Well, I don't know. Austin police obtained a warrant after verifying threats and finding Johnson en route to Rogan City. Maybe that was part of it. They found him.
Well, they found him
en
in
route.
Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They took him into custody at the Four Seasons Hotel without incident. Rogan confirmed he had, quote, never had any interaction with Johnson and considered the post to be threatening. Even Rogan is much of a, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's an incredible kickboxer. He probably killed this guy, but, you don't want to fight
He
a
had
crazy
to have
person.
said something worse than that to be arrested.
I agree with you. I think there's more to this story that we don't know. He's had to make
You
private.
think?
Yeah. By the way, I just got a text from an anonymous number, Madam Mayor, and it says, Brady Anderson, ask the mayor.
He's hot.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. All right. So he'd have been on that list. He'd have been the F guy. That's what I love about you,
He
Madam
won't
Mayor.
be killed. We'll go.
Right.
We'll just say he would not be. He would not be
Listen,
murdered.
and he's not marriage material.
I love it.
So there is a 34-year-old man named Patches Magic Beans. He crashed into a car in Minnesota while on mushrooms. Here's his. Here he is right here. That's Patches Magic Beans right there on the screen. If you want to
That's
check him out.
Can you see that guy?
Yeah.
He looks like mushrooms.
He does. I mean, the name alone is illegal, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Patches Magic Beans.
Yeah.
34 from Heartland, Wisconsin. He's been charged with 2 counts of criminal vehicular operation and 1 count of controlled substance crime in the 2nd degree. According to court documents, an off-duty police officer had been driving behind Magic Beans right before the crash, and the officer told authorities he watched the van swerving and weaving on the road. Then that the officer said that they watched the van hit a curb, several traffic cones under the tunnel, and then hit a scissor lift. After that, the van hit the tunnel wall and rolled multiple times until it stopped. Authorities say Magic Beans was saying things that did not make sense and appeared to be engaging with things in the air that were not actually there.
You know what doesn't make sense? How
That
many
entire
things does
story.
he have to hit before the police pull him over?
Right.
Right,
Yeah. That is
yeah.
the bizarre.
Well, I mean, do you give a guy named Magic Beans a license in the first place?
It is bizarre, isn't it? I mean, hey, I'm going to ask you.
I'm not a good driver.
You're not?
No,
Do you drive yourself?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, of
okay.
course.
Did you drive as mayor or did they drove?
they drove.
Did you like that?
It was convenient.
Is it convenient?
Absolutely.
Now, let me ask
You
you.
don't have to park in the city.
No, I
mean,
get
come on,
that.
right?
But
Yeah.
let me ask you. There's times where you're driving home and you're like, oh, shit, I need something.
Hmm.
You stop at a store. Does he go in or she go in and get it for you?
No, they have to go wherever you go.
So I'm saying he's driving you home and you go, hey, stop at the Walgreens.
Hmm.
You got to go in and get whatever it is. Do they go or do you go shop?
I go, but they
They're
would have
escorting
to go.
you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So was it city police who
Mhm.
escorted you?
Detectives, yeah.
Yeah, detectives. So that basically you had a 24-hour a day security detail.
Hmm.
Is that intimidating? I mean, like, I can't
They're
imagine.
very professional. EPU is very, very
Do
professional.
they stand outside of your home?
They were. There's a car position. There was a car
So
position.
in other words, they're not sitting in your living room while you're
No,
sleeping.
No.
You have your home to
Right,
yourself.
yeah.
That's why I always wondered that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I remember I live in the
You
same.
had cameras outside of your house,
Really?
and
Do you feel safe at home?
did I?
Then I mean,
Yeah, of course.
that's got to be an interesting thing. To just
But
wait.
you also, know that there are cameras on, so you can't
Right.
walk outside looking.
Right. That and you,
Right.
you can't call me, say, come on over
I
at
know,
1:30. You know what I mean? I got
Yeah, nip that in the bud.
it. Yeah, I'd call her and they'd say, put up more cameras. That's what she would say. Yeah. What else we got, buddy?
So there's a Chinese hotel that has had to put an end to Red Panda wake up service. Have you guys ever heard of this?
No.
Yeah, so a hotel in China is being forced. I got a little video here I can show you guys. They're being forced to end a special wake up call service.
Yeah, play that.
Oh, it's not here.
All right, never mind.
What
What is it?
It's essentially they allow the little red pandas into their guest rooms, and they place them on the beds to wake their guests up.
Like a real panda bear?
No.
Well, have you seen a red panda?
No.
No. I mean, it looks like a big cat or like a small dog. That's
Can
kind
you
of what
just
it
put
looks
it
like.
on your bed and you wake up to that thing licking you or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
That's
No,
nice.
I don't think that's
I'm with the
true.
mayor on
I
this
don't
one.
think that's
I
true.
am too. It feels kind of sketchy to me. Scientists call the actions animal abuse, and authorities note that wild animals shouldn't be treated as amenities. Red pandas are second-class protected animals in China, and they're listed as an endangered species on the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List of Threatened Species. I mean, just not knowing the nature of an animal, you don't necessarily want that
Yeah.
in bed with you,
That's like when you were,
especially when you're foggy in the morning, right?
yeah, Madam Mayor, when you were younger, did you, like when you just had friends before you became a politician, did you ever have any friends that were like weird animal people, like snakes and shit like that? Do you have any friends like that?
No.
You a
I
cat
think so.
person or dog person?
Neither.
Neither.
I'm telling you, we are a match made in heaven.
Do you like any pets? Do you have any
I
pets?
had pets, but
Yeah.
I was like not a big pet person.
Yeah. I got
Don't you hate the fact, like, people to have pets that, like, you're out, you're having fun, they go, I gotta go home, my dog's been in for 9 hours. Like, does 10 hours make a difference then at that point? You know what I mean? Like, finish your beer, Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's all I think. Yeah, I don't know.
So you said you spent a lot of time in New York.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard of the Rat and Garbage Tour in New York?
Yeah.
Have you really?
Hmm.
So if you want to experience the rodent side of New York City, Mick, there is a special tour for that. Suzanne Reisman is the leader of the Garbage and Rat. What's it called? The Garbage and Rats in New York City, walking tour. Reisman takes tourists through the city's most rat-infested sites while sharing facts about the rodents.
How much time they spend in Chinatown? That's
I
the
don't know.
worst rat thing I've ever. You've been
Is
in
that right?
Chinatown in New York. You know, I don't know the streets in New York, but it's the outermost street of Chinatown.
Not Canal.
I'm not sure, but it goes downhill.
And they got some big boys
It's not
in
like
New
a
York
drop,
City,
but
don't they?
Dude,
City kitties.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I
I-
love Chinatown.
I love Chinatown. It was incredible. I saw a rat.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe my eyes. It had to be
This is in New York or in Baltimore?
in New York.
In New York.
It was like a small dog. And then at first I saw it and I was like, what the? And then I realized it was a rat. It was 40 feet from me and I ran. I'll tell you another story. You know what I mean? Water Street, right off Lombard. I was walking from the Comedy Factory when it was there above Burke's to what's it called with all the clubs? Power Plant.
Power Plant.
So I cut through Water Street. This fucking rat looked at me. Madam Mayor, I'm telling you, I never carried a gun. But if I did, I would have shot it. Because it was one of them rats that just, not only did he look at me,
right? No
he looked
fear.
at me like, the fuck? And I was like, sorry, like scared the shit out. Have you ever seen any of the monsters down there?
Yeah.
How do we get rid of them? Can a city handle rats?
Well, here, this is, during
So
her
you
talk. I'm sorry, Madam Mayor.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the reason that they're a problem in New York is, from what she says, is the history of garbage and litter that's piled up in different parts of the city, and how dog poop is a big issue, but rats love it. So apparently they love animal droppings.
So the challenge with rats is, as long as they have a food source, they'll
multiply, they'll thrive. Right.
And you have an old city that's with a lot of people, and it's hard to control the behavior of enough people to cut off their food supply.
So it's almost like you just got to learn to deal with it. Part of the ecosystem.
You can do things to reduce the rat population.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why we went to the uniform trash cans throughout the city was
that through you?
Mm-hmm.
The blue, like, did you do the blue ones and the green ones and all?
I don't remember what color they were, but yes, the trash cans.
Yeah. Because I'm in the city now, and you got one night the blue one goes out.
But yes, it was in efforts. One of the things we were trying to do to control.
Yeah, they're crazy. I hate them animals. If they all died tomorrow, I mean, I'm sure it would affect. They're here for a reason, like every animal. But I would not shed a moment of tears.
Just like the mosquitoes, right?
I told you, the mosquitoes are important.
Well, you told me that too, but I'm sure rats are important to something.
Not
too.
really. I don't think they are.
No.
Why are mosquitoes important?
Well, they actually do a lot.
Well, they're food to other organisms.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And not only that, they actually do pollinate some wildlife.
Yeah, you told me that. I was surprised to hear that.
Rats are food to some people.
Yeah.
Who's eating rats?
I don't know. There's probably humans eating rats in cities.
Fuck them. Get a sandwich. You don't need to eat a rat.
I hear you. Listen,
No,
I'm not going to eat a rat.
Not American.
On purpose.
Yeah.
Keeping with our friends in China, though, there's a man who lived with a toothbrush in his intestines for over 50 years.
I did not know where you were going to say that was.
Yeah, I mean, there aren't too many great places to keep a toothbrush.
Wait a minute. How did he get a toothbrush in his intestine?
Yeah, so it's the mystery. The Chinese man's stomach issues has been solved. It's the toothbrush, and he's a 64-year-old guy, surnamed Yang, swallowed a toothbrush when he was 12 years old and didn't tell anybody. He thought it would dissolve over time, but it didn't. Doctors did imaging tests of his digestive system and found the toothbrush stuck in his small intestine. So a short surgery to retrieve the toothbrush went well. Now the man is recovering nicely. And the big question is, how did he manage to swallow a toothbrush?
My biology or anatomy isn't the best. Which is on top? The small intestine?
The small is first. No.
Yeah, wait.
I think it's large into the small, into the bowel.
What do you think it is?
I think the big intestine's on the bottom.
If only there was a device where you could look things up, then it would tell you.
Let's find out.
Yeah, we do this live, Madam.
Because I don't trust the swallowing thing.
In human anatomy, in what order are the intestines? It's going to tell me right now. The small intestine, followed by the large intestine.
All right, then maybe he did swallow it.
Starting from the throat.
All right, maybe he did swallow it.
Yeah. Jammed in there.
Bizarre.
That is bizarre. Yeah.
Bam.
Your don't swallow your toothbrush.
But how did he not know it?
He knew it. I think he thought it was gonna how people think if your gum passes, right? You swallow your gum. You're not supposed to swallow your gum, but it passes. I think he thought it was
the toothbrush passes.
I think he thought it was going to dissolve.
Yeah, like in the stomach acids, but didn't make it to his stomach.
It got stuck. You ever
stuck in his intestine?
Yeah, I've never seen a toothbrush be able to.
Well, why was it a mystery to him that he had stomach issues? You know?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, right.
It's like all of a sudden the next day, what was his name? Chang? Yang? What was it?
Yang, yeah. I mean, he's 64 now. He
Maybe
swallowed it
forgot
when he was
about it.
12. Yeah,
Maybe
it was a
what?
long time ago.
Maybe forgot about it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
possible.
Yeah. There's now a flying humanoid robot.
A what?
Flying humanoid robots are now a thing, Mick. The Italian Institute of Technology. I got a picture of this thing. It's weird, man. It's a 3-foot tall robot with like a baby doll head.
Yeah, shit's getting weird.
Look at this thing, man.
Ugh.
Terrifying, right?
Can you see that, Madam Mayor? Look over there. That's
Just
a
terrifying.
robot.
They call it the Iron Cub, a 3-foot tall robot weighing just 49 pounds with an expressionless baby-like head, and it has the ability to fly. The flying comes courtesy of thrusters that are positioned in its arms and a jetpack mounted firmly on its back. So yeah, I mean, how long till we have a fleet of these things flying around?
That's pretty insane, for real. Hey, Madam Mayor, do you ever just hang out? Do you go out and hang out?
I'm going out now.
Where are you going?
Not saying. I didn't know. We've been talking for so long. I thought we were just going to be on for an hour.
You're welcome. We're almost done, I promise.
Okay.
But let me ask you, when you go out now, like, are you looking?
What do you mean?
Well, you're single. Let me ask you a different question. Is it out of line if a man approaches you like a gentleman?
I don't want to tell you what just happened to me earlier this week.
You don't or you do? Was it?
I think we want to hear about it.
Do people listen to this?
Just my mom. That's it.
So I'm gonna say where I was, and I won't say where I was. I'll just say what happened.
All right.
So I was out, and I was supposed to meet friends, and they were being lazy and didn't want to come out. So I ended up convincing one of my cousins to meet me, and I'm just minding my business at the bar, like a little nightcap.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And are people going to listen to this?
No, nobody.
Just my mom.
So this gentleman is there staring at me from across the bar. And, I don't.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And then he proceeds to move around the bar and then start chatting. And he says, "What's your name?" And I say, Stephanie. He says, "SRB." And I'm like,
"Whoa."
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay. He says, "I'm not creepy or anything." Right. I just recognized you. I was just like,
Nice to meet you.
Right.
Enjoy your night.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Does that creep you out?
Saying it one time.
Yeah. Okay.
By the fourth time, you say you're not creepy.
You're creepy as it gets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So then, chit chat, whatever. We go to pay. Now, this is what I'll say. I got into a debate with my cousin about this. I feel like if you're interested in someone, I'm old school. If you're a guy, if you're interested in someone, if you're, whatever, the bill comes, like, I wouldn't mind a guy saying, "Oh,
I got it."
Right.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind that.
Right. Why would you?
And if you're...
Would you ever do it? Would you ever
somebody?
pick it up for a guy?
Nah.
Really?
You're old school.
Well, I'll be honest. I've never seen a guy at a bar that would make me want to pull my wallet out and pay for their drinks. Now, if it's not...
If you're dating a man and you go out, will you every now and then say, "I'll pick it up"? Or does a man take care of you from the time you start dating in that way? There's no wrong answer, Madam Mayor. You prefer a man to pay.
I do.
How long you make him wait before you give him something then?
Yeah.
That's a fair question.
So after the bill's paid. No, I'm just joking. Anyway.
Where am I meeting you? I'm paying.
I know, right? Anyway, long and short.
Yeah.
We paid our bill.
Right.
Then he says, "Oh, I'd love to take you out to dinner."
Right.
I, of course, say no.
Right.
Because I'm like...
I get it. It didn't appeal to you, and it gave you a weird feeling.
But
good for
also, if you're trying to,
make a move.
Right.
Yeah.
Make a move with a gesture. Like,
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Show some intent.
Right. Don't wait. You're seeing...
Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to find out where you're going tonight. And then I'm going to call the bartender.
You got a new stalker.
Not new.
Listen to
I've been
me.
stalking this lady for 10 years. Look, she's texting now. I'm trying to get out of here.
She's texting security right now, Mick. It's the Baltimore police are going to be waiting for you in 15 minutes.
I thought we were going to be done at 6, so I told someone. But listen to me.
Yes.
So long story short, the next day, I wake up to a text message.
Yeah. From him?
From him?
I tracked your number down.
Holy fuck. Did you call the police?
Whoa.
Did you
No,
let it go?
I let it go.
You're crazy. Give me the number. I'll take care of that son of a bitch.
I wouldn't even know how to track how would you track somebody's phone number down like that? A cell phone?
Because apparently, like, we know some of the same people.
Oh, I
like
see.
this place that I was.
So
is
who's
where
the
a bunch
Judas?
of the people.
Yeah, you
Who
got to find
betrayed
out
you?
who the Judas was. Do you know
Yeah.
yet?
Yeah, I do. But listen
Guy
to
or
me,
girl?
guy. But listen to me.
Of
Listen
course,
to me.
right?
I just you brought up the issue of dating,
yes.
and it was just a funny story.
I love that
I
story.
hope you reprimanded that guy.
Not yet. I mean, I'm like, I'm
How long ago was this?
2 days ago.
Oh, I'm going to wait a couple weeks before we go out. I don't need no guy killing me because I'm out. When is the last time you went on an official date?
I've been on an unofficial date by mistake.
Have you been on an official one yet?
Not in a minute.
Really? Look at that lady. How do you not get taken out 7 nights a week?
Well, maybe I should respond to this text message.
You're messing up her dating
I know.
life
Let's
now,
get
man.
this wrapped up. Madam
No,
Mary.
I'm talking about the guy from 2 nights ago. Maybe
Oh my God, it's 6:45.
I know.
Oh.
I did not know. I told somebody I'd be done at 6:00.
I thought we would be like 6:15.
All right, well, let's wrap it up for Madam Mayor.
Yeah, listen, Madam Mayor, you have been on this show especially, and every time I've talked to you, truly, I mean this, you are a rarity in your line of work. I'll tell you why. I understand you have to be careful with your words, and I respect that, and I try to push you
You do.
as far as I can, but if you tell me shut the fuck up, I do. But I tell you, there's just something about you. I think it's the Baltimore in you, which is this. You are sincere at the end of the day. And that's why I tell anyone that listens to me when your name comes up, because they remember from the radio, I tell everyone, I go, listen, I just like the lady.
Thank
you. As a human being, I like you a lot. I think you're awesome. So thank you so much for doing this show.
My pleasure.
And I'm going to have you back on if you'd like. And then we're going to talk about you doing what you should be doing, which is this kind of show. You think I'm kidding with you? You would kill at this.
You think?
I know.
We'll
Listen,
see.
did you see me on stage do comedy?
Yes, I
Would
did.
you say, as far as doing comedy goes, I know what I'm doing, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm telling you, you would absolutely destroy. That you're going to have haters. That's the
Always.
nature of the beast. But you will have a ton of support. And as people get to know you like I have, you will not believe the sincerity of admiration that would come your way from people that you would never think.
Oh.
It's all about getting to know people.
Mhm.
And that's what these types of shows do.
Got it.
So we're going to talk. Matt, this has been, I'm telling you, it's a real.
It's been great. Thank you, Madam Mayor. We
My
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
but
Yeah.
I did not. I'm a whole hour late.
Well, they're going to pay. So Madam Mayor, what an honor. What a pleasure. Thank you. To everyone that watched. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, tomorrow, right? At
Natalie's
3 p.m. start. 3
early
p.m.
start tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hosting Rock in the Harbor tomorrow night. Did you ever go to that, Rock in the Harbor?
Mm-mm.
All those rich guys get all their big billion-dollar boats and they go out on a. Yeah, anyway, I'm hosting that. So that's tomorrow night. So we will be at Natalie's from 3 to 5. It's going to be a great
Come
time.
join us for some seafood.
Absolutely. It'll be awesome. See everybody tomorrow. Thank you. Mickey Talks available everywhere podcasts are. Soon to be a proud member of the Madam Mayor's podcast. See you guys.